Oh, we don't have any slots anyway. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to leave this sort of line of questioning here. A shame. I quite like the pawn shop. This is really interesting. There's probably gonna be a lot going on here at some point, or at least I'm gonna have to use it a lot to, well, I need money. I need money desperately. And we don't have much time. I feel like I'm really fucking things up here. It's already 2 p.m. and very little has been accomplished on this day. That's not true, actually. We did speak to the girl. I really need to bring that fucking, thing down, don't I? But I also need enormous balls of worthy of a real man. Well, I need to, maybe we should check out the stores? We never did check out the stores. And a girl like a pig refers to herself as pig. Do you think that's the insane girl doing the painting? You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. Seems to be browsing the books. A good one? She nods, her attention fully focused on reading. Who are you?
I'm just a working class woman.
Doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. She's a working class woman, then why isn't she working? What are you doing? She reverts her attention from a worn out paperback. Phenomenal.
I know you are.
I'm a policeman. Do you need the help of a policeman? She tries hard to focus on the bookstand. The citizen thinks she can do it all without your assistance? Don't buy it, they all need help. Watch your browse books. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. Seems like she spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Maybe your husband is missing. My husband? No, he's not. So where could he be? I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working? Where is this going, officer? So what I'm hearing is, you don't really know where your husband is. Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time. Wouldn't you like to? No! She looks you straight in the eye. Her right foot is tapping nervously. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe he isn't missing indeed. Of course he's not. It's not like he's a pocket watch. I wouldn't just lose him. She has, though. Her husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay. Hush, baby. It's okay. What? It's alright not to not know where your husband is. Nothing shameful in that. Who said anything about shame? Stop talking to me. She puts her foot down. My husband is not missing. Yeah, but he is. You can feel it. Maybe it's something else then. Your cockatoo is missing. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point. Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing? I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what? It's a trap. Never ever say what. What? Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Alright, cockatoo not missing. Just wanted to make sure. Great. She turns her attention back to the bookstand. Just one more question. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo? Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore. Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain or your heraldic bird? Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip. Wonderful. The store is open. Maybe your children are missing. No, absolutely not. Her words come out as quick as gunshots. Okay, so where are they? Oh, I don't want to get stuck at this. You're a policeman or a nanny? She's definitely disturbed now. I police whatever I want. Where are they? They're not missing, sir. You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance. What if something horrible has happened? What if they're dead? It's a bad vibe you got before. What if something awful has happened? What if they're in the sewers? What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Jamrock. There's nothing to worry about. She's getting upset. Her voice has risen as she tries to convince herself that her daughters are set. Oh, I'm such an arsehole. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. Tell me, how old are they? My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. My Jenny is turning 18 this month, but we shouldn't even be talking about them. And can you describe me their appearance? Any features that stand out? Something to make identifying a little easier. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I told you already that they're not missing? That they're in Jamrock, safe and well at some stupid party? It's for the investigation. I'm trying to be professional. There is no investigation here, I can tell you that. She picks up a book and tries to concentrate. Flocks of seabirds passes by. Okay, it must be then. What are you... Okay, it must be asked then. What are you doing here? Why are you pursuing this? Is it a hunch? That's all for the moment. I'll let you read. Woman before you nods and returns to our reading. I'm amazed I didn't just get my ass kicked. Good for me. Wonder if we can talk to the girl more. Let's go inside first. I'm just sort of wrapping up the places I didn't get a chance to visit yesterday. Because I'm noticing that there's already new stuff there. Gift books and molten candy. Ew. Man from the Hjemdal series. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hjemdal somewhere. Hey, storekeep. Tell me about the muscle man on the books. Oh, Man from Hjemdal. Very popular series of adventure novels. She looks at the book with some disdain. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with a little imagination and nothing to do. Go fuck yourself. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? Why does it matter? They're all the same. She rolls her eyes, then fiddles with a pendant. However, customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjemdalaman, the man from Hjemdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series. I'll look through the display. Rows and rows of Hjemdalaman blur your vision. You make out some titles, The Man from Hjemdal, The Mammoth Riders, The Man from Hjemdal, Return to Hjemdal, and The Solipsistic Man from Hjemdal and The Hjemdal Man. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100. Man from Hjemdal and the Sages of the End of the World. Man of Hjemdal and the False God. Man of Hjemdal and the Scorched Earth. Man of Hjemdal and the Hjemdal Colonies. Man of Hjemdal and the Swamp Beast. Man of Hjemdal and the Snow Crabs. Is that all? Not even close. Man of Hjemdal in Hell. Man of Hjemdal in the Forest of Slaves. Man of Hjemdal under the lake. Man of Hjemdal, Hjemdal Burning. There's even the Trial of Death. A pasternal combat game book set in the world of Hjemdalaman. And so much more. Payne Thresher. Hold on. Just for the XP, do any of the books call out to me? Ow, everything hurts. There we go. Okay. Hurts a little less now. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. What is it? Your hand reaches toward a book with a glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hjemdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. He's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hjemdalaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjemdal and the Devil Women. Interesting. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjemdal books. Is there any reason for me to buy these? Also, we've lost money somehow. I don't remember what I bought. Mountain of board games. A small mountain of colourful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. While the shelf space seems to be taken up by the virile-related merchandise. Look through the pile. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is entitled Welcome Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large, hardbound tome with the intricate cover art, Hunters of Katuak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Viral, Cavern of Velkrug. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? Anything that really captures my eye? There's a box that says Viral 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastic adventure board game. New maps and miniatures, a stack on it displays 25 real. Price is steep, but then it's a 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense. Storekeep, what board games do you have here? Oh, wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturalist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you like the Archipelagos of the Insulinda. Very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family you can play with your children. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends and family? Do I have friends? Are you actually friends or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance? Yeah, kids, friends, chicks. I have all those. And you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. She fills with her pendant thinking. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. A civilization building game where you build a civilization. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't have guessed. Then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. So what about all these virile things? Lousy auras there, she shudders. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kinds of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. Well, you're a stupid bitch. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. They have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though. She looks at the table, crossing her arms. I'd love to, but it's expensive, so goodbye. I don't think they do anything. Old sports magazines, tucked away in a dark corner. I always thought, I'm pausing because I'm talking about this. I don't know why I paused. I always thought that was like definitely not gonna be for me, like the whole board game role-playing tabletop thing. And then Cyberpunk 2077 became a thing that was coming out, and this channel I watched decided to do like a really high-budget version of like a playthrough of the Cyberpunk 2020 board game, what Cyberpunk is based on. Because I really love CD Projekt Red, and I'm really hyped for Cyberpunk. That happened like a year or two ago now, and ever since I've been like, holy shit, it's actually really interesting. I sort of want to get into it, but it's also like, I don't know, is that a little gay? I'm not sure. It just looks fun, and I watch it on YouTube as well now, because I don't know, it's just really, really interesting to me. I like seeing people get really into it, like costumes and shit. It's fun. The book collects the national recipes of Ardor. They're all about lake trout. But yeah, I highly recommend PlayStation Access's Cyberpunk playthrough, or Outside Xbox's Dungeons and Dragons. That's fucking fun. I don't know, it's just fun. Right, what do we got over here? I kind of want to talk to you. I also want to explore the rest of your fucking building first. Because I assume I can go upstairs, right? Yeah, definitely. There's tons of shit I can inspect up there. But my guy doesn't want to fucking move. She's all about morals and shit, but she's perfectly fine with me just swinging a crowbar around as I walk through where her daughter lives. Shelf of crime novels. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. See the name Dick Mullen over and over again. Look through the display. Crime fiction. It's a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. That's not true, necessarily. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. I don't think that's true. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of the stress that this work creates. That's not... What the fuck kind of crime fiction are the devs reading here? It's full of the fucking pain and stress that this causes the detective's family, at least the ones I know. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of the books you found on the shelf? Like I've mentioned before in this series, my dad was like the best SOCO, Scenes of Crime Officer, which is now, I think, just a detective. I don't know what they're called. Scenes of Crime Detective. I don't know if I think the role has changed. It used to be called SOCO, but he was basically a detective. He was like the highest performing one in the Metropolitan Police, which is most of London, for 3 years running. And he fucking loves detective fiction. What are you talking about, game? Fuck you. Maybe it's American. I mean, the devs aren't even American, right? I don't know. I tend to read British crime fiction. I don't watch British crime fiction. Sure thing. You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. Mullen, Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard, and the sordid affair of Dick Mullen. The killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen, an obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's funeral pyre. The murder of Dick Mullen. Dick Mullen dies! Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Are there any more? Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen, and a dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen, another one with a fake death. And of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must first become the murderer. Come on, this is not the way real police solve crimes. Well, that's true. The real police are some 20 kilometers away, sitting in an armored motor carriage. I mean, no, they don't obviously undercover cops exist. They do join gangs and act like that. It's a thing. A bored man turns toward a lean man and pats him on the back. Go on, Chester, tell the story again. Again? Man, I tell that at least once a month. It's not that interesting, Chester replies. The fuck it is, the bald man replies. And these guys haven't even heard it. He motions to the civilian sitting in the back seat. You see, Chester, he pokes his finger at the lean man. Chester faked his own death once. Gosh, why? One civilian looks on, amazed. Bald man bellows a reply, a very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? I almost got you that time. Yeah, sure came close, Chester mutters in return, then turns to the rapt listener. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe. The inside of the motor carriage is thick with cigarette smoke. Outside it starts to rain. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? 28% I want to find out who Dick Mullen is. That's who Dick Mullen is. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. What do we have here? Mistaken Identity? A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Why does this speak to me? Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy, full of contradictions. Or no, it's gotta be something else. Perhaps you're drawn to the dark noir because it's Max Payne. It is just the story of Max Payne. I knew it! They're being memey. Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. No, that's not it either. Is it because the smoking dame in the slinky dress on the cover is giving you a hard-on? What? No, that's not what's happening. Yes, it is. The bulge in your pants is embarrassingly obvious. Well, I'm glad it's obvious. That's not embarrassing. That's a good thing. Relax, it's not that bad. Also, this means your blood flow is returning to normal. Good news, really. Something the matter, Detective? Kim, would you describe this woman as a smoking dame? Lieutenant narrows his eyes and contemplates the book for a moment. I would say she certainly fits that description. Oh, sorry. I would say she fits that description you're providing. Oh, what? Oh, that's why, because you put the certainly in a really weird way. I would certainly say she fits that description, providing that's your type. Storekeep, what's all this crime fiction? Crime, robberies, murders. She lowers her voice. Even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective. Note! Reading about Dick Mullen will not actually make you a better detective. Are you sure? Are you sure? Of course. She shudders. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy. What does it do for us? Examine the cover. The cover features a pastiche, don't know what that means, of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in the dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are the two silhouettes wrapped in passionate embrace. Tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen. That seems to sum up the premise nicely. Needless to say, it violates nearly every RCM regulation for a detective to investigate a murder in which he is the suspect. Are you really reading that, Detective? I really need to know who this Dick Mullen guy is. Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader. The point is for the reader to feel like they're solving a crime along with Dick Mullen. A crude narrative convention... Oh, sorry, the point is... Yeah, okay. A crude narrative convention, but no less effective for it. Start reading. The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the insular Indian coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights. An extremely unprofessional and hurtful stereotype that's offensive to all upstanding officers of the law. Look, I can't judge. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vespa police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vespa police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence. Cops release their prime suspect so he can find the real killer. Are you shitting me? What's the matter, Detective? What's the matter, Detective? The lieutenant turns to you with a start. I know who's writing this shit, but I get the feeling they are not experts on homicide investigations. Lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature. Bullshit! It can be! Genuinely! It's obviously dramatized. But there are heroic cops, there are heroic detectives. Obviously not, haha, I'm going around shooting everyone, and haha, look, everyone's this corrupt. But, I don't know. It's weird, I don't know why they're saying this. Okay, so Mullen didn't do it. Of course Mullen didn't do it, that's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered, and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana. Nice, dame. Not just any dame, she's truly one in a million. A knockout whose mind is as dangerous as her curves. She's got a secret. Sounds like my kind of woman. She's any man's kind of woman according to this book. Are you sure about that? Something that gives you a bad feeling. What kind of secret is she hiding? You couldn't handle a woman like that. Look at yourself. Couldn't even handle you. Stop! Don't say it. Don't say what? Nothing. Forget it. Go back to your story. I'm glad we've got Inland Empire protecting me from my awful composure here. Now it's getting interesting. Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover, and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead. So why the fuck did he let him out? Tell me about the police captain. Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to a pulp. He's also dirty, and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive, and oh my god, so much time is passing, and the means. But the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder? I want to hear about the politician's son. Typical privileged twat. Brilliant. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though. A former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration. Kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he has the correct height. And while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own. Okay, what was that about the art collector? Torvald, the art collector is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug him 3 times in the chest, the way old Spillane got it. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history. While interrogating him, Mullen learns that Torvald was once involved with Diana Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle? Let's keep reading. One evening, Diana Deneuve comes over to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms. Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer. Nice, get it, Mullen. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Diana Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, something else I meant to tell you. I love you?" Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. Fuck. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood. Double fuck! Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body. They hadn't been tipped off already. Fleeing a crime scene, destroying evidence. Even if Detective Mullen didn't commit the murder, he should be facing years behind bars. Dick Mullen won't be sent to the clink for the sake of some legal niceties. The heat is on. Dick Mullen can't solve both the murders before the cops catch up to him. He's going away for life. Can you solve the case before the cops close in? Wait, I got some questions first. Why does everyone close to him wind up dead? It's a dangerous line of work. Somebody's got to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close. Why'd he become a detective in the first place? There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. But why is he like that? Dick Mullen was made to crack skulls and solve cases. It's who he is. He could no more stop being a detective than a tiger could cease to be a predator in the night. You're no tiger though, Harry. You're a man. It's your curse to have to choose. For a moment you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. You won't find answers you're looking for in here, in other words. Fuck. So who did it? Dick Mullen. Have you been paying attention at all? It wasn't Mullen. It was an imposter. Now go find out who really did it. You begin furiously flipping through pages as if, even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes, you find yourself completed. Completed? I imagine it's completely engrossed. You're turning pages so fast you don't even notice the ancient spine becoming unglued. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough, they're gone. Dozens of pages scatter the floor. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long. Stupid old horse glue! Yes. Problem with mass-market paperbacks. Not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, detective? In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. Put it away. Man, I can't believe we'll never find out. I'm also reloading because we just lost an unbelievable amount of time. Both in my world and my detective's world. We lost 8 minutes real time and like 2 hours in his world. When I'm already running very low. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic. A quaint picture book brochure. Very colourful. From a Zrik, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Hell yeah. From A to Zrik, I see. A sulphur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover. Its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out to the book title. From A to Zrik, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Flip through the pages. Turns out there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. What's this about a guide to cockatoos, shopkeep? It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. I want to buy the guide. It's like $4. Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around. What do we got in here? Shelf of biographies. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Look through the display of books. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. Just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. What's it about? High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history? One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to his life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Good boy. Next to that, Revacholium radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a run-down drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I bought a book, you whore. She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. Time is commerce. Anything of note on this shelf? I would say. Woman hums to herself. The greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power, whatever the fuck that is. Or what is an innocence? A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if she's casting aside the thought. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the inocentric system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest. Actually, fuck it, great, I don't need to know anymore. I don't fucking want that. All the books seem shit. I just want to interact with everything. What's this up here? I mean, they're well written, it just takes up time. I enjoyed the Dick Mullen thing, it was funny. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda and a map of Rivershore and a map of Martinez. Storekeep, can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore, and besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though. Though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Why is the Martinez one so cheap? That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up. 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it? What happened then? They didn't get far. For some reason, shame, the project never got going. It would have been nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. Why would you even try stealing something that's worth 90 cents? Always good to be informed of your surroundings. I'm gonna look at the other maps. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the insular Indic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is Le Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Samanese Islands. Ile de Fantôme. What else? Ozone, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the insular Indic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou. In a bookstore, it's you. Radiating outwards from you, the Suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would barely be visible. Can you see cities on the islands? You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozone, Fond de l'Air and Vermandois. On the archipelagos, Croyant Moraine, Villiers. On Seminane, Olduvai. And on Laurentide, Dior of the Seven Seas. Lost little pearls of light. Tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce, torn apart by history. Look at the edges. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into a pale nothingness. Mundi is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Azola is what they're called. Connections to other worlds. Worlds past the Insular Indian. Unknown to you. Where'd I get better from? You only know where you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars? Gods? But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. And very far away. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. Revachol. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperant. Countless bridges put their shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta, says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin, Stella Maurice, the suburbs of Baptiste, swallowed up into this megacity. I sound rich to you. This is Revachol East, and west of the river, Coron. Somewhere to live, not bad. And there's Jamrock, it's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Falborg, it's almost as bad and much larger. And Coal City, which is the worst. And Martinez, so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait, there it is! North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivachol. A industrial harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. I love that we're getting shivers coming in now. A charred limb, rain falls on its slick black streets, and then there's the burnt out quarter, I guess, in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore, or is it just you? No, this is somewhere to be. It's all you have, but it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive. Look at the map of Martinez. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing, a picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. Date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed, could be useful when scouting ahead. You see jagged boxes of an industrial harbour. Even the whirling in rags is there. Well, can I use it? The worn map features a patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner. Trace path through the grid. Your finger moves through the various streets across Rue de Saint-Ghislain, Rue de Saint-Cispert, over St. Brune and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt at the spot where you are currently standing, although the maps gives no such indication yourself. For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal, then the map tab. Well, I'm glad I got this. Yay! I don't think this existed before, did it? Oh, it details the things we didn't pass as well. Good. I say didn't pass, I mean sort of, didn't bother with, mostly. What do we got over here? Also read this. Another boring book, just discarded here. Okay, well, that's depressing. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Yeah, I'll look through. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, and balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book and many others on the shelf is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, kind that people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, and balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. Does the book say anything else? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from, how to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver, and there's even a chapter on the ancient Ceres tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. That is so hot. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. Find something otherworldly. Oh, I know, I thought I failed for a sec. The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. What's the pale? The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. What's the book about? The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as literatura, or literatoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venek or hand broom made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree near the pale. Sounds invigorating. It is. Good for the circulation too, is that true? Man. Good thing I'm so kinky. What else? I'm kidding. Or am I? It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole? What? How do you cover them in a hole? Just inside the sure? And leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. And what does this pale-aged liquor do? Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable. I should get my hands on some of this. What else is in there? For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale. Though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries, a body of toxins, especially if the perambulator, whatever that is, performs the ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. Anything else of note? There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. Well, I probably need that. Excuse me, sir, I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it. Storekeep, what are these? Sir, no browsing that shelf. Wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh, no. Alright, I want to buy medicinal purposes of the pale. Of course, it's 420 real. Sir, I just tried. There we go. Indeed, she mumbles, staring at the book for a moment. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for. Please contain what I'm looking for, because I've just saved over it anyway, so I'm not getting that $5 back. Open the book anyway. Is it just gonna be what we already read? Nothing interesting. There are a number of sea-alike tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition. I just want something that will Soothe the relentless torment of my existence. What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that. Or, is there anything about curing this hangover? Nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot? Rub your hands together. All right, book. Oh no, I've wasted so much time! Oh, I made something. Well, guys, that is where I'm going to have to leave it for today. I'm sorry if this one wasn't as long as normal and we didn't get as much done, but I am a busy boy because I'm recording this on the 22nd of December. It is very, very much full fucking force holiday season at the moment. I'm having to buy shit, I'm having to spend time with family, I'm having to work really fucking hard because I said I would work over the holiday because I'm a fucking idiot. I genuinely didn't realize what week I agreed to work until it's happened. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that amazing stuff. It really does help out both me and the channel. I will see you in the next one, where we will most definitely finally probably cut that body down and actually look at it and start our investigation properly. Thank you guys. I will see you real soon. For now, this is Strike signing off. Goodbye!